Welcome everybody to the first episode of Let's Build with Mods. I'm your host, Nasty Bones, and today we're going to be working with two different mods that I've selected. We're going to work with Settlement Objects and Snap and Build. Settlement Objects has probably around 800, a little bit more. They've had a few updates. Snap and Build has about 400. Now, there are a couple other things like you can build your own vault. We'll work with that later on in different episodes. But as of right now, we're just going to go ahead and work with these two. Now, there is a way that you can set them up and just only place in the amount of items that you want to work with. But I'm going to try to work with everything here, so we're not going to do the configuration today. We'll show that on another episode, how you can configure and choose the items that you want so you're not having to go through 1,400 different objects to build your settlements with. Now, I've chosen Nordhagen Beach. It had a build here that I built when I first started playing the game, and I just kind of wanted to do something coastal with a nice view, and I have something in mind. I think a modern home would be nice. Okay, since I've already kind of figured out where I want to put it, we'll just go ahead and start laying the foundation. Now, the foundations have a lot of cool things. I've chose this brick look because this is the entrance, and I may or may not put a floor on it and just use the brick as the entrance. So we'll go ahead and line these up and get them all snapped in place. Now, this is a mod, so keep in mind they sometimes don't snap when you want them to snap. You kind of work with it a little bit, but we're not going to mess with this too much. I'll come back to it later. Now I'm going to slip over to these solid blocks because I kind of want a nice solid frame foundation. I don't want anything crazy looking out. Now, like I said, sometimes they don't snap real well, but for this particular segment, they snapped in pretty nice, and I was pretty happy with that. Now, right now I'm going 6x6 plus 2 for the entrance. Later on, I probably will extend it out one more block or so, but for right now, to get started, because I'm going to work on the entrance first, we're just going to stick with the 6x6. And you can see how that's looking there. I wanted to do a swimming pool out in the water, but I wasn't getting the damn swimming pool blocks to snap. They were snapping weird, and so we'll mess with that later on as they update it, and maybe they'll get that working better. And boom, yeah, the last block went in. Sometimes when you connect your walls with the foundations, that last one just really gives you a hard time snapping. Now, one thing that's cool about the new stuff, even the DLCs, is unlike the vanilla building, these snap on the tops, or the bottoms, excuse me, of the blocks. Now, the floors snap in right dead center, and this makes it useful. We'll see it a little bit later on how that works. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm setting up my entrance, and I want it dead center. So you saw how easy it was to just go ahead and throw that in to dead center it. And I'm going to go ahead and choose this door. Later on, I will probably use a different door well, but right now we're just going to use that one. And then I'll go ahead and place the floors back evenly, and we'll just be off by half a block, which is no problem because we're going to use these marble slabs as like pillars. So I'm going to have a couple of different pillar looks. Okay, now since like I said, since you cannot snap to the top of these, they snap to the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and throw up this marble slab that I'm going to use, and I'm going to show you that you can't snap it to the top. You can't put half a wall on the top of a full wall. So we'll just put them on the sides because that's where I'm going to want them anyways. And then we'll put one up there, and now I can snap my next floor to that. And I'm going to choose a little bit of a different floor style, which still has a marble look, but we're just going to do the little bit different here. Now I'm going to go 2 by 2, excuse me, for the second floor. And like I said, what I want to do is I want to use those marble slabs to make a pillar. Okay, I'm going to use the quarter blocks. I don't even know how to describe what these are, foundation blocks. But, you know, these are kind of cool. See how it's snapping in the middle? These, I mean, the things that we're going to be able to do with how these snap are just going to be mind-blowing. But since I couldn't get it to snap on the edge or the corner, I'm just going to go ahead and take it out and throw one in there. As you can see, it wouldn't snap with the second block. As soon as I took it out, then it went ahead and snapped in, no problem. And I'll go ahead and put these up there. And this is pretty much how it's going to look, other than the very first block I put on won't actually be right there. Okay, now that I've got the foundation blocks set up on the top as support pillars, I had quite a few floorboards that I was using in the first build I had here. So I just made me some quick scaffolding so I can get up there to it. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and insert my marble half walls to start my pillars. And I'll go ahead and pop these two floor squares out, and I'll get a quarter floor out because I want to extend it out 3 of those half foundation blocks from where the first ones that you see there is starting. So we'll get out the little block as soon as I can find it. And since I'm going to use quite a few of these, we'll just go ahead and use this. And put one on that side, and then we'll go back to the marble half walls, and we'll pop them in. That's the starting of the pillars I'm going to use. Now, like I said, since these all snap to the bottom, I'll go ahead and put 2 more on, take the first ones out, and now I can put the floor back in. Reason I did that is because I can't put the floor in with the marble slab up. But if I take it out, put the floor back in, then I can put the marble wall slab back in. And it fits real nice. Now, what I'm going to try to do here is I don't want it just all evened up. So I want it to stick out a little bit. And you know, this is going to be really cool how we do this, because I'm going to use other building items to get that to happen for me. So what we'll do is we'll put another little quarter floorboard up, and then I'm going to go over to the one building mod, and I'm going to choose a half wall. Now, in the DLC that we got back a few weeks ago, we have a whole concrete section that has this in it. But I didn't want to go there because pretty much everybody's seen it, so I'm just showing you that in the Institute you can actually do the same thing. They're just more wider. I think they use aluminum, and instead of concrete and steel, it's like aluminum and steel or something. So they have a little nicer, cleaner look. Now we'll go ahead and put the marble slab back up, and the next one, and as you can see, I have moved that out 1 wall width. It actually takes 4 wall widths to make 1 half wall width. It takes 8 of those to make 1 full wall. Now you could continue to keep doing this as far out as you wanted to, and here in a second we're going to do it one more time to put the blocks in the front. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on putting those blocks in the front. So I'm going to do the same thing that we just did. I'm going to repeat that process, and we're going to put a quarter board up, a quarter floorboard, and snap it to the bottom here, and we're just going to move it out one more time. And let's go get the quarter floor from the the other mod. And we'll, since we've already used this and we have one, we'll use it one more time if we can get it to snap. They're a little bit testy together, but you know, they work. You just got to move around. Now this is what's cool about the floors snapping to the floor blocks or the foundation blocks. I'm just going to add in a couple more of these quarter floors, and then we can snap the floor block right to it, or the foundation block right to it. It's really pretty cool, and we don't have to go through a whole bunch of other crap to get them to snap on. And one of the million times I will fall while I'm building this. Hopefully you have free fall armor. If not, you should go check out one of my videos. It'll show you how to get the free fall armor so that you don't die while doing this. Now I'm going to go ahead and select the same quarter foundation and put that in. See how that just snapped right in on top of, or underneath that floor piece? And now what I have, instead of 4 of these in the front making it square, I only have 3, and it gives a nice little offset look. And that's the beginning of that pillar. And we'll go ahead and put that piece back up, take off the floor, and let's pop a couple of our scaffolding boards down so we can see what that looks like. Okay, nice. Now I'm also going to use a couple of these other pillars, and we'll throw one of those in real quick before we switch over to the next segment so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm going for here. And there are quite a few of these cool little pillars. I can't wait to be using them. Oh man, the things that we're going to be able to build now, unbelievable. So much fun. And I'm going to spend probably like 10 minutes trying to line this thing up, so bear with me. Yeah, I chose this one because it really matches the floor piece that I put in. I really like the way that looks, that marble look. And we're probably going to use a lot of this through most of the build, these 2 different floor types. Okay. And apparently I'm still not happy with it. Like I said, 10 minutes to line up one dang piece. Okay. And there we got a nice little start. Alright, now for this part here, I have most of the entrance built already. I didn't want to waste you guys' time showing you how I did it. It was pretty standard. What I really want to show you here is how I made this cool little pop out. And if you notice, it's 2 floorboards thick on the bottom and 3 floorboards thick on the top. Now there is a reason why I did that, but in this video I'm not going to explain it or show you because it's a little complicated. In the next video you'll see why I did that. And I really love the new glass look. To get that look before, I would just leave it blank or nothing there, and you know, it did the job, but still didn't really give you the nice glass look. Okay, now on this side I haven't completed it yet, so we can see how I did it. First thing I'm going to do is grab a couple of these quarter floorboards and we'll get them dropped in place. Okay, let's make sure we have the right one. I don't, so yeah, now I notice that. And if you notice how that floor drops into the floor, see that? We're going to make a snapping tool. And we can't use these to do it because they sink inside of one another. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set it up to build the snapping tool, but we're going to use the vanilla quarter floorboards. They don't sink into the floor. And pretty much everything else does except for Wasteland Workshop metal floors or metal concrete floors, they don't sink in either. You could build a snapping tool with those as well. Now the glass is pretty cool. We're gonna later on in another episode build a spiral staircase surrounded in glass. And that ought to be pretty awesome. Now The glass comes two different sizes. In our vanilla builds, we only had one height of wall. But when we got Wasteland Workshop, we actually got a different height of wall. And I did do a build at Dalton Farms where I used both walls together. And you can do that. But what's really neat about the mods, they set it up where they have both sizes of walls, especially in the glass. So let's go ahead and get all this crap out of the way. Should have moved it already, but sometimes I don't think so far ahead. Okay, now to build a snapping tool, and if you don't know what a snapping tool is by now, it's a way to build multiple layers. You can do it with floors or ceilings, actually. And what I do is I make this little plus or X, and then we're going to run and grab a vanilla floorboard. And we'll just line it up here the best we can. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but the closer you can get it, the better. And we're just going to stack them on top of one another. Now we're only going 2 floors thick for the bottom, so I don't need to put too many up. Now it's kind of weird how this works. The first floor that we're going to snap on is only going to have one board. The second board is what we're going to snap to. But if you was to do 3, which I'm going to do 3 here to show you, you would have to do the third board, and every one after that would be the third board. If you don't, it's going to leave like a half a vanilla board gap in between them. Now why it doesn't do it on the first layer, I don't really know for sure, but you'll see here in just a second how that snaps in real nice with just the second board. We'll get that one out of the way. And there you go, and you can see how nice and tight that fits even though it's only the second board. Now if I did just 2 boards for the next row, like I said, there would be a gap there, and or actually it wouldn't be a gap, the block would sink into the other floorboard block, and it wouldn't be as thick. Okay, the bottom's done, the top is almost finished, but I left a little bit unfinished so we could go up and see how I did that. And we're just going to build another snapping tool again. Now, if you remember right in the first of the video, I said that everything pretty much snaps to the bottom. So I just took out the one piece of glass, put it on top, and I'm showing you that you can't snap to it without taking it back out again. So we'll put it back where it was at, and we'll go ahead and throw a couple of blocks up and finish out the first layer of our 3 layers that the top is going to have. Okay, drop another one in. Well, let's go on up real quick and take a look at it from the top. Now I already have the deal I'm going to build the snapping tool on. So that way we don't have to mess around with that and waste a bunch more time. So we'll grab a vanilla board, put it on here, and once again just line it up the close as you can. Now since this doesn't really matter right now, we're just going to kind of get it going so you can see it again, and then we're off to the next segment. Okay, here on this one I already have everything done. I'm just putting in the last row, the third row of our top. Get rid of our snapping tool. And we'll just finish off the third row real quick. And you can see, even though I snapped that to the third board, how tight that fits. Okay, now that everything's done, we'll take a look at it from the inside. Now, not only do you have different heights of walls in the glass, you have different looks. On this side I used a smudge look. And also the lights I'm putting up are an Institute floor light. Those are really cool. They're seamless. They don't have little gaps or little edges to them. It just looks solid. Also, what's pretty cool about it It doesn't require power. You don't have to have any power of any kind. Don't have to have electrical nodes, anything. The drawback to that is you can't put them on a switch and turn them on and off. They'll always be on. And we'll just finish off this side. Now, I didn't show on this video how the different ways that the floors will actually snap. There's two different spots on each side of the floor or the walls that they'll snap to. On the next video, we'll discuss that a little more in length. And you can see the two different types of glass I got. That's real clean and shiny. And then on this side, it's real transparent, but kind of has like a smudged look to it. Now, when I finish this build, I'll of course use the same glass. I just wanted to show you the different look to it. Alright, let's go on out and take a look at it from outside. And I like this glass because it matches my railing glass, and that's probably what we're going to use for the other side as well. And once again, you can see the different way the glass looks, kind of smudged there a little bit. And this side over here is a little more transparent. Okay, let's take a quick look at it in the daylight so we can see it a little better. Our entrance now is looking really, really good. Should give you a pretty good idea of what I'm trying to go for here.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much it for this video. If anything here was exciting or cool or you enjoyed it, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Or even leave a comment and give me some ideas. Okay. Well, I do appreciate everybody taking your valuable time and spending it with me today. I look forward to getting the next video out as quick as I can. I have been held up on playing Overwatch a little bit, which I'll have a few Overwatch videos coming out within the next week or two. But thank you once again. And if you're interested in seeing more of my videos, reach down there and hit that subscribe button. Well, until next time, guys, everybody stay safe. Have a great day. And I hope to see you on part 2 of Let's Build with Mods. Later, everybody.